Hey, welcome to Fathering Our Future, the podcast for dads. I'm Anthony Vandagriff, and I'm not the perfect dad, but every day I am trying to be better. Let me go ahead and hit you right out of the gate with my question for you today. Do you value your kids? Now, do you love your kids? Because that's an easy one that we can answer yes, and we don't have to worry about that one. Every night our kids go to bed and we say, good night, I love you. But we're probably not in the practice of saying, hey, son, daughter, I value you. Now, value and love should be a little more connected than they are culturally, and love can easily be misconstrued to mean other things. So I'm asking the question this way. Do you value your kids? Do we? I'm including myself because I don't mean to degrade or to belittle by asking this question. I pose this question to you and to myself so that we will do the hard work of asking ourselves difficult questions. Because when we do this, we expose our flaws, we uncover our weaknesses, we give ourselves work to do. Because maybe we don't have the value for our kids that we need to have. And if that is the case, now we have something to work on. And the beautiful thing about us putting in the work on these issues that we struggle with, things that we wish we would have done when we were younger, that we address now, and that we put the work in on those areas of our lives, we develop new strengths. And you know what happens when we develop new strengths? We expose our children to these strengths at an age that we wish we would have been exposed to them. You wish you were wiser. I wish I was wiser when I was younger. As I work on developing wisdom now, I expose my kids to that wisdom at a younger age than I was exposed to it. I'm setting them up to achieve that much more than myself. We are setting our children up to do greater things than we have done. And this is part of the value question. So this is why I ask, do you value your kids? Because when we value something, we typically have two responses. We either choose to invest in what we value and or we work for whatever it is that we value. Have you ever had a buddy who's pitched a MLM to you before? And they tell you, hey, I just found this company. It's brand new. They already have crazy sales, big promise. You could be in super early on this thing, just right off the ground floor. You sign up, you do a little bit of work for the business, and then all of the new signups and all the new consultants, guess what? They get signed up underneath you and you get ridiculous residual income. It's a nest egg. You're going to get it the rest of your life. It's going to make life so much easier. You listen to that. You think about it. You see the promise. You see the value. And what do? You take your hard-earned money and you invest in this company so that you can have a place in it. And then, even if you've been complaining about how tired you've been or that you don't have enough time to do the things that you want to do because you've got a full-time job plus maybe some overtime hours from time to time, you've complained about not having enough time, but you find time to put in work for this business, all because you see the value. I think about stocks, these new companies that went public. Let's talk about some of the old companies that went public because we can see the fruit of those returns. People who invested $1,000 in companies like Netflix, Apple, Google, and Amazon when they first went public, smart people. I think about people who invested in Bitcoin back in 2009 when it was down to like a nickel a coin because it essentially just came out. And then, it's much higher now, but I think back to the spike that happened several years after Bitcoin became a thing. People were selling coins that they got at a nickel at a new value of 19,000. Ludicrous returns. But these people saw the value, and there's something so unique about value. When you see value in something, you are willing to work for it and to invest in it even before it's ever fruitful. Because you see the value, you see the promise. Even Jesus tells the story of a man who went through a field and found a pearl, and then he went and sold everything that he had so that he could buy the field because he understood the value of the pearl. We will go to extreme measures to invest and to put in work for the things that we deem valuable. So this is why I ask the question, do we value our kids? Because if we value our kids, we're going to put in work for them. We're going to invest in them. We're going to pour into them. We're going to do what we can to better them. We have to be okay as fathers having this John the Baptist type ministry where we are paving the way for our children, where we're the voice that calls out, that prepares their path. This is what we're doing. Again, they ought to step off of our shoulders onto new terrain that we've never explored. They should do greater things than we have accomplished. And us working on ourselves, us having a value of our children, makes that possible. But this is the whole point of asking this question to begin with, of asking, do you value your kids? Because if you say yes, then by default, you have to value yourself as a father. And if you're at a place right now where you think, I don't value myself as a dad, I think my kids might be better off without me, you don't really value your kids. You might love your kids, but you can't value your kids without valuing yourself as a father. I don't think it's possible. Here's some stats to kind of prove why I think that. Households without a dad are 4 times more likely to live below the poverty line. You being present in your home, you valuing your identity as a father, it increases the likelihood of your family being more prosperous. Kids without a dad at home are twice as likely to drop out of school. You valuing your identity as a father instills a value of education within your kids. Kids without a dad at home are twice as likely to commit suicide. You valuing your identity as a father gives your children value of their very life. Kids without a dad at home are more likely to commit crime and go to prison. You valuing your identity as a dad encourages your kids to pursue an honest livelihood. Here's one that's shocking, especially me having 2 daughters. Girls without a dad at home are 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teen. Dads, you valuing your identity as a father for your daughter's sake, it instills a value of their significance and their importance, gives them a value of their body just because you value your identity as a dad. One more for you. This is 90% of homeless and runaway children were found to not have a father in the home. You being in the home and valuing your identity as a dad, it instills a value of the home in your children. There are numerous statistics about the necessity of fathers. You cannot think that your kids will be better off without you. If you think to yourself, I value my kids and I want them to be successful, it's better if I'm not here, you have immediately set them up for potential failure. You have taken their value and you have thrown it away. Your kids need you, regardless of what you think about yourself, and I can understand that. Here's the thing. We know our faults better than anyone else. It is mind-boggling to me that my children can look at me with love that I cannot explain and cannot understand and choose me over and over again each and every day. I cannot fathom that because I know my faults. I know them well. I know my struggles. I know the mistakes that I have made. And I don't think I deserve that kind of love. And I think most of us can look at our lives and probably come to a similar agreement. But they choose us. We have an opportunity where we get to choose them. If we value our kids, we must value who we are as fathers. And if we value who we are as fathers, then we begin to invest in ourselves and we begin to work for ourselves. We put in the work that we need to put in. We invest in ourselves, trying to be better dads every day. Because as we grow hand in hand with our children, we're elevated and they come with us. Our kids grow with us. They are edified with us on this journey. The work that we put in, while it blesses us, it also blesses our children. What we benefit from in life overflows and impacts our children. You cannot claim to value your kids and then choose not to invest and work for yourself. Those two realities cannot exist side by side. If you value your kids, you must value yourself. So with that understanding that you are important, mandatory, essential, and necessary, that you're going to value yourself, what do? Work on yourself. Grow. Be in community. Have people in your life who can speak to you, and they can speak to you openly, and they can say, you do this, and you might want to change it. Hear what they're saying and actually work on yourself. If you've got dreams and aspirations, chase them, pursue them, grow. As you grow, so do your kids. Your investments in yourself do not stop with yourself. They run over and they go into your children. Investments into yourself are also investments into your kids. I want you to understand your value today. I want you to understand your necessity. You are absolutely essential to your family and to your home. Your kids need you, and you need to understand that. You need to see that value, because as you value yourself, you're valuing your kids, and you can't have it the other way. You can't say, I value my kids, but I'm a deadbeat and I'm not worth it. If you think that, you're passing on that same sentiment to your children. And I know you don't think that. So see your value. Value yourself and work on yourself. Get help when you need help. Be in community. Stay plugged in. Love what you get to do. See the opportunities and the grace that's in front of you and grab hold of it. If you value your kids, you've got to value yourself, because they need you. And what a remarkable gift that's placed into our hands as fathers. Our kids need us. And even beyond that, strangely enough, they want us to. So know that. Know that they need you. Know that they want you. Value your kids. Value yourself. Be there. Be the essential part. Be the necessity. Invest in them. Invest in you. Invest in them. See your value. Dad, you are needed. You are needed, and don't let anyone ever try and take that away from you. I want you to value your kids, but in doing that, I want you to understand that you've got to value yourself. And let's be a part. Let's be a part of this thing together. Father in Our Future, it's all about helping men love being dads, about helping dads be better dads every day, and then building a community of dads so that together we can better father our future. See your value, see your worth, and work on yourself. And your blessings overflow from you to your kids. And we all want that. This is Father in Our Future, the podcast for dads. I'm Anthony Vandagriff. Thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you'll join me next time. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't be shy. Please connect with Father in Our Future on social media and become a part of the community that values fathers, that aims to help men love being dads and to help dads be better dads every day so that together we can better father our future.